where our traumas come from thinking God is white, from thinking we're number two when we're number one, from being taught the wrong education, and from always being in debt. So we have to understand that as well. So, and then it's economic empowerment. Bottom line, they keep you broke so that you're worried and you blaming other people and we fighting each other. But if we understand that we own this culture, so we should be the ones to provide the culture to them, not us give it to them to provide it to us, that's crazy. So we have to control that narrative. And I think those are the fundamentals that just need to change. And also we have to know how to get a law changed. We got to know how to lobby. Instead of talking about shit, nothing changes legally unless a law gets passed. So you got to understand exactly who you electing, why you electing, and what you expect them to do. And if they don't, you have the power and the voice to lobby for something so that a law gets passed. I've had conversations with Senator Eddie Milton, and I've seen him pass a law based on our conversations. I talked to the Congressman Carson, and I see him lobby for things based on what he sees. And then also prison reform needs to change too. So all our soldiers go to fucking prison because of all the trauma. And what do they feed them? A bunch of disgusting food. What do they have available for them in commissary? Snicker bars and sardines. So they work out, but they come out with high cholesterol, diabetes, and heart problems. So all these things need to change. Our rehabilitation needs to change. But again, they not going to change it. We got to change it, and we got the power to do so. So think like a general. Because in a war, general wins. The soldier waits to be told what to do. But the people I know that have been thriving, pay attention, have been the generals. The soldiers haven't been doing shit. They just been sitting around scared. I've been waiting for war. I've been training for it. This war, the right war. I haven't internalized racism. I haven't had to motherfucking let some white man tell me what to do. You know what I do to a white man when he makes me mad? I buy his house, I kick him out. Period. You don't want to hire my people, I buy your company or I put you out of business. But I'm not expecting you to do anything for me. Don't even be polite. It makes it easier for me to do what I got to do. And that's my attitude.
Now, when you look at that as a CEO, those who are saying it, they got to understand that they're not here to feed us. You can't wait for them to feed you. What is it that we need to understand about feeding ourselves that we still are not getting?
We got to pull our skirt up, and if we a man, be a man. Men don't want to be given nothing. They want to earn it. We got nuts for a reason. Testosterone builds muscle and ego. You should be ashamed of yourself if you want another man to take care of you. And you want your girl to see another man take care of you. That's not a man. Period. So we have to understand what being a real man is. Our job is to provide for the people that we love by all means necessary, not for us. Our job ain't to get a two-seater. It's to get a family van. It's to get a house with a backyard so you don't have to go outside. You make enough money to feed your family good food. That's another thing. And the food is disgusting. That's available to us as well. We got to understand this meat is killing us. That the number one cause of diabetes, heart, cancer, meat. Period. All the GMO shit, that's what's killing us. I got a lot of tough friends that are dying from natural causes. I can't believe it. And it breaks my heart that they survive this bullshit and go with that. That a cheeseburger puts you in the grave. So we also have to understand that fried chicken and all of that other shit with that GMO and all that stuff that they make available to us conveniently, that they make money, it's easier for us to grow, it's cheaper, and it's safer. It's not like it was 100 years ago. Meat is not the same. It's a lot of doo-doo, a lot of pus. The shit is disgusting. Rats all over it, rat hair tolerance, it's nasty. So you can't trust your oppressor to feed you food either. But the bottom line is back to your question. Yeah, waiting for a man to give you something, there's no bueno in my book. It doesn't exist. It's not even a thought. And that's the way you have to be built and programmed. Get your money so your loved ones don't have to feel the same problems you did or you haven't done your job, period. And that's that, to me.
Yeah, I think the other thing is just basic math. I think we have a missing element of math, what to demand. I think the whole movement for shelf space is new. Everybody acts like that's new. Demanding shelf space, demanding our rights to do business on people who are actually making billions off of us. People need the courage to be able to make demands, Damon, and they have to do it based on math. So can you help them understand why we should demand distribution through our own channels, ownership of shelf space, those type of...
See, the things about that is you don't have to demand that, you just do it. So again, distribution is now there, direct to consumer. No excuses. No one got to give you that. And your work got to be good. You can't say because I'm black, you got to buy it. Your shit got to be better than everybody. So my shit ain't good because it's black. I'm better than everybody. I want Scorsese. I want Guy Ritchie. I want all of them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they can mess with me. I want Woody Allen. You know what I mean? I'm not going after Spike. I'm going after pause, you know, the ones, everybody. I'm the best because I'm the best. It's not be the best because you're black. If your work is good, they'll line up and they will buy it. But you have to focus on your work. You can't think because, I want to make a company that is going to go. Your company got, you got to understand, if you're selling the same drug everybody else is selling, then you selling trays and deuces, 2 for $5s. You know what I mean? But if you sell something that nobody got, you could charge whatever you want. But nobody wants to hustle on a crowded block. So if you get something late and you wondering why shit ain't clicking, number one, your work might not be good. Get your work together. Number two, you might be late. Why you want to do something a million people doing? The thing to be innovative is an entrepreneur looks for new shit. That's why I was saying in the beginning, I'm always looking for freedom, so I find it first. And then I be waiting for people to catch up. I be like, damn. I knew about this shit for 10 years. I was like, what? I'm telling people, I just been sitting by the pool waiting. It's crazy that pandemic is what rushed the truth. And Trump has just made us realize shit faster. That shit is fucked up. That needs to be changed. Period. It's almost like since he came around, everyone that's supposed to get punished but him has been getting punished because they can't get him. But he's brought all racism, all. He just made it so obvious that we would be soft not to do nothing. He just made it where we had to do something. So you got to thank him for that.
Say big ups to the realization that we are kings and queens.
100%. I've been knew it. That's why I be thinking. Everyone thought I was crazy because I'm yelling at them like, yo, y'all think they tough?
Their terms. Everybody needs to understand it's our terms.
Our terms or no terms.
On your terms.
The thing is they try to control us with fear. Fear that we won't have it if we don't have them in our life. That's the deprogramming is we don't need you. We need each other. That's what we got to do. I've been thinking music, movies, our shit is the best. So I love Black Panther, but I was mad that somebody white owned it. You feel me? But what it showed was, if we do this without them, it'll be big without them. So now, I'm getting at that. I'm getting at Marvel next. I'm getting at Disney. That's my comp, And if you notice, anyone up under me that has been or even listening to me ends up in Fords with a B next to their name, whether they pretending or they not. But I know my nigga Kanye, he got it. So, just with the fundamentals, He crazy, but he got $1 billion. More, multi-billion. With these fundamentals, we changed the narrative. See, with him, he I won't make my own. I just take Adidas. I just take the Gap. Things that were fundamentally known to be other cultures. The most all-American shit is the Gap, and they got to say Yeezy in front of it. That's what I'm focused on. What that means. It means it ain't no racism. It means they going to bend the knee if you making that bread. Period. And that's how you have to change the narrative. You just have to generate profit. But your work got to be good.
So in instructing new young brothers that are on the reset, Dave, what can they do? What can they study? Because many who are watching right now need a vision. And just telling them to do it, they need a vision. How do you reset? How do you reset your diet? I mean, everybody is in this moment of COVID. How can they come off the meat? How do they do it?
I mean, so my network, not to plug it, but that's exactly what my network's about, the focus, not the distractions. So I have the Health is Wealth, where my wife shows how she cooks the same exact food for me or gets cooked for me, how easy you have to do it, where you could get it. I got the Dash Diabetes Network. I'm type 1 diabetic, and I've been one since I'm 15, so you can see that there. I got the Yah Squad with the Bishop Pennell, who could teach you the history of religion code. But I even got Billy Carson with the Galaxy Network, who could tell you about the Emerald Tablets and really will be Anunnakis and all that type shit. Then I got the OSG Network, which is Dennis McKeezy and 90 black principals all over the country that are redoing the curriculum and changing things without waiting for the Board of Education to do it. Principals with principals swaggy that I never seen in my life. that are actually doing things and are also entrepreneurs. So I can tell you step by step, you know, what to do or how I do it, but it's not hard. You just got to do it. The unknown, people fear the unknown, but it's relatively easy once you get there. But what's better? Wheezing, you know, feeling sick, you know, not looking like yourself, double the size, your children not being the cool dude in the room no more, or eating healthy. Is a cheeseburger worth, you know, cancer? It's just not. So we have to be strong enough. See, the thing is, we have consciousness, but we look the other way based on comfort. Because we hate our life. I'm not giving up pig. Because we hate our life, you can't give up bacon. You'll love your life if you give up bacon. Also in the Bible, it says, thou shalt not kill. Not just thou shalt not kill humans. I think, like, we're in a time where you don't have to kill for leather. You don't have to kill to eat. It's not necessary. So karmically, you got to look at that shit. Imagine coming back as a cow, having to sit and doodle all day and wait to die. Farting up, fucking up the fucking all up. You know what I mean? It just don't work. It's just not logical. You know, a real man doesn't do what feels good. A real man does what needs to be done, regardless.
So I just want to make sure I'm hearing you right then, because I'm with you. Changing your diet and changing your entire spiritual diet is a prerequisite for freedom today in our community.
It kills me people that say smart shit and still eat dumb food. That makes no sense to me. I have conversations with people about intelligence that are supposed to be intelligent, and they put some Kentucky Fried Chicken in their mouth. That doesn't look intelligent. That's not a logical answer to an intelligent man. That means you're looking the other way, despite the fact you know that it does not behoove you to put that nasty shit in your body. But it tastes good. It makes you feel full. Nah, go jog a mile and a half. You'll feel better.
But this is the moment. We're in COVID.
Yeah.
And I was listening. You know, I enjoy my sister Karen Hunter. For all those who are not studying, not tuning in, she definitely has a platform that we all should love as we study. COVID proof. What's COVID proof then?
Content is COVID proof. Content is COVID proof. Pandemic proof. It's panda proof. Like, my numbers went up in COVID. All my businesses went up in COVID because I was prepared, because I was already social distancing. And also, Dr. Chris, she's the head of the hospital in Newark. She's actually taken the vaccine first, black woman. She's the first, one of the first people, a doctor. And the reason why was because she was on the front line watching all of us die. So she was like, I got to see what this is, if it works. And there's so many conspiracy theories happening and all that about the vaccine and Bill Gates and blah, blah, blah. But I trust this woman, you know, and it's good to have access to people like that of our color. And, you know, she also tells that, like, yo, I'm not saying Jesus no more. I'm saying Yahshua. She's not saying everything everybody want to hear. But she took that vaccine, you know. And I'm curious to see where it goes. And I'm praying to God that she all right, because we can't lose her. But those are the type of superheroes that need to be showcased. You know, those senators, those congressmen, those doctors, those principals. They never showcase us when we're helping us. Even when not only are we helping us, we helping them. You feel me? But we got to be the ones. That's why we got to have our own network. Because if we depend on our oppressor to showcase our heroes, that doesn't make logical sense. They already took our religion, our culture, and everything else. Why would they let us out unless we fight? Or have our own platform, our own television networks where we can showcase our real heroes the way they need to be showcased. And that's the whole purpose of Dame Dash Studio. Just for us to understand the truth, the real narrative.
Yeah, good. Ready to be on the network, Dame.
Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, it's an exciting moment for us controlling. For all those young hustlers who need to have an insight on what you do, how you study, how you see things in the future. As a CEO, how do you get 15 years in advance? What is that practice? It's
studying life. And when you want to do something, like if I want to talk about education, I can talk now because I've been spending the whole COVID with 90 principles. I can talk eloquently about law because I've been kicking it with senators and congressmen. You know, I could talk about health because I talked to Dr. Chris. I could talk about the history of religion because I talked to Bishop Purnell. You know, when I have a problem, there's a crew of people that I just call and talk to for hours, planning and being strategic and playing chess, not checkers, being proactive and not reactive. You have to write the script. Life is a movie. And if you let somebody else write it for you, it might be a horror flick for you, and you might want a comedy. But I'm writing my movie, and I'm going to make sure that I architect my future. Like I said, I go to the future, look at what I want my future to be, what it logically looks like, where the problems will be, what everybody else is going to be doing. Then I go back to my present, and I make sure that my future is secure. And then by the time my future becomes my present, I'm usually prepared. So everything I'm doing now didn't just happen yesterday. I've been preparing for this shit for 10 years. You know, when I left the Titanic, which was Rockefeller, I was like, yo, that shit's gonna hit an iceberg, bro. Y'all might look good for the next 3 years. Because when a business goes up, a business 500 million, when it drops to 300 million, it still feels good. When it drops to 200 million, you still feel like you're rolling. But every year it drops. But when it gets to that no million, 6 years later, because you were so committed to something corny, you can't even do anything new, that's when you really are fucked up, because no one wants to start from scratch when they're 50. Start now, when you're young. You have to plant a seed so it could grow into a tree. But that takes a second. No lick, good lick happens overnight. Anything that happens too fast, you really have to watch it. It's temporary, and it might not be legal.
When you say temporary, most brothers don't. Is that temporary in not owning your culture too? Is that temporarily in them giving you a publishing deal knowing that it's not a good deal? Let's talk about that.
If you take a bag and you give up your future earnings on any level, then you played yourself. But really, look at how many, I'm not going to say names because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but think about 3 years ago, certain people that were really rolling. They were like invincible, and 3 years later they just evaporated. That show money is gone. Think about all the artists that depended on show money this summer. You know, that shit gone. That's 70% of your earnings. Now you got to depend on streaming, and now you got to trust Leo to pay you with the YouTube bullshit, because that's all he could do now is rob you there. You know what I'm saying? So imagine that. You don't want to be in the position where if someone turns the switch, you can't do nothing. It's gone. And if you're not hot no more, because when you hot, you feel like you're going to be hot forever. And when you get cold, you cold forever. And that cold lasts way longer than that heat. Trust me. So I don't even know, well, I do know why I'm relevant now, because I do current shit. You know, I don't sit around wearing a flag of some shit I did 10, 15 years ago. My evolution, me growing at least 10, 20% a year as a business is all I know. So I just constantly doing different shit, new shit. I'm always doing something. But also understand your competition is me. Your competition is Kanye. We don't really sleep. You know, we're obsessed with winning. Our way, on our terms. So if you want to be a professional, you have to understand the difference between professional and amateur. It's like a professional basketball player or a boxer and a dude that just has good knuckles or hands in the street. You know, it's a different game when it's professional. It's a different discipline. There's a different sacrifice. I would suggest you do something you love so it doesn't feel like work, because that's what I do. Everything I do, I would do for free, so I do it all day long. I love getting fresh, so I do fashion. I love making music. I do music. I love making and watching movies. I don't mind making. I love laughing. I love doing all those. I love boxing. Everything I love, I do. And I love myself, so I also showcase the fact that I'm a diabetic 24/7 for the last, 40 years, and I've done everything diabetic. And I'm 50, 49. So diabetes doesn't mean that it's not an excuse to be washed. It's not an excuse to let your leg get cut off. You know, there's too many different evolutions in diabetes right now where you almost have a pancreas and this shit is almost over. I think in my lifetime there will be a cure. But, you know, I'm going to make sure if there is one that I let my culture in on it first, not last. You know, if the vaccine is right, I'll let y'all know. I'm doing the research. You know, and I will come with a new curriculum with the OSG network because I'm not going to complain about education. I'm going to just make a new one. And I'll make it available to you through our apparatuses, not theirs. It's legal. I ain't hurting nobody.
Good. So for people who want to know, favorite movie of Dame Dash, what is it? Where is it? What you got over there in that network that we need to be watching?
Well, we got Honor Up, which I put in theaters. I made that a couple of years back. That's really fly. I got this Dress to Kill scripted show. I think, my whole catalog is on, that Under the Dash Films catalog. You can see everything. I really like the therapy, the Healing is Gangster with Taj, the OSG network. The We Went To series, where I go around the world, get high, make music, and, find culture and like-minded people. Again, if you go to Dame Dash Studios, the new shit I'm doing, I can't even talk about it. And it's crazy. Trust me.
Well, I like crazy stuff, but life on your terms. When people think about that, why should that be their mantra?
Why should it not? Why should you not have life on your terms? Why wouldn't you want life on your terms? Why wouldn't you fight for life on your own terms? Like, I couldn't imagine it any other way. Living by what other people consider success is a good way to end up depressed. You have to find out what your success is and only put your head down and focus on that. Fuck what everybody else thinks. People think validation from them is success. Pretending you have more money than you have is success. Having a nice car and an apartment is success. I don't look at that as success. Those are temporary things. And who is it that you're trying to impress? People that don't have it? What's the purpose of that? And someone that does have it, they know when you front, trust me. And they don't respect it. So, being a bully, that's not me. I like to challenge bullies. Again, I'm not saying I'm going at anybody but Disney and Netflix and Apple. Those are my kind. How dare anybody ever say I have a beef with a rapper or some dumb shit like that? Dumb my shit down. I'm a general. I'm a captain. And I fight. I'm not saying it. Look at my resume. I do it every day, all day. I've been doing it. This shit ain't new. So, again, controlling your narrative is fun. It feels good. It's priceless. I don't care how much money you got in the bank. If somebody telling you what to do, especially if you're a man and it's another man, and you're a slave, an expensive paid slave, you broke. I bet your family ain't happy. I bet you ain't happy. I bet you spend a lot of time with the therapist and rehab and other stupid sad shit when you got everything. Because you really have nothing, because you're not happy. Look how much you laugh. Look how much the people around you laugh. Look how happy the people you love are. Do you even love anybody but yourself? Understanding real wealth is very important.
Understanding real wealth as in family, understanding life on your own terms is critical and keys to success. But when we think about it, we've got an entire community that needs to understand that this is a moment for us to work together. Why are we afraid to work together, and why do so many in our culture want to be pets to some other culture?
Again, it's the programming that needs to be broken. What I like about this generation is they're not really having so much of that. The older generation, there's a couple of us, but the majority of us would rather fit in and survive, based on prior trauma. But, I think since Obama and there's been a black president, we all know that if you could be a black president, if there could be a black president, and it might be a black woman president, I think that can happen. Not to say I want my homie to die, but I think she's going to do a thing in there, bro. Really. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, if because of Trump, the result is a black woman president, it's a new narrative out there.
Damon Dash prediction, Kamala Harris, first black female. And black women went to the mat and made that demand.
Mm-hmm. Because white women wasn't doing shit this last election, but hurting it. Not voting and none of that shit. It's the white women that need to step up. But the black women, yeah. And also all the sororities and all that, homie is out of here. What's going to be interesting is if he's going to step down or we're going to have to beat him down.
Yeah, it's that moment for all those. Young brothers don't seem to understand, Dave, that not voting is not an option for us. Those who are there, why and how should we be acting during this moment as it relates to voting?
Well, number one, I think everyone should vote and play their part. But we know there's a lot of states that if I don't vote in California or not, he's not winning. But those swing states, Florida, Pennsylvania, we have to focus our energy on where we need people to vote. Because we don't want to preach to the choir like, all right, if you vote, we still get New York. He ain't getting it no matter what. But Florida, Pennsylvania, we need those two joints. That's what we need to focus. Michigan. But really, if we get Pennsylvania and Florida, it's a wrap. And we should be able to. The Spanish people got to stop liking this dude so much. I don't know why. In Florida, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's what we have to focus is on get these white women to vote for who they want to vote for. You know, we have to get the right places to stand up because that's what he's doing. You got to remember, he didn't win the popular. He won the electoral. He was very strategic about where he won. So we have to be just as strategic where we focus on getting people to vote. You know what I mean? Like if everybody votes in New York, it does not fucking matter. He's not winning in, you know what I mean? California, no matter what, he's not winning there. So everybody vote in California. No, vote in motherfucking Florida. Vote really? In Pennsylvania.
Show up.
You know, we have to go there. We have to focus on those markets. The swing states.
That's the analytical mind that we all need to understand. When you talk about it numerically, you got to figure out where you win. Like even that analysis, and which I appreciate, and I think just standing up so brothers don't stand on the sidelines and understand. Your homie's only gonna go to prison because he's sitting in front of a judge that don't look like you, and you could have voted for a judge that looked just like you.
True.
I mean, come on, man. Let's y'all talking that talk, but homie only served 3 strikes because you didn't vote.
But you know the thing is, we have not been educated about politics. That's strategic. Like, I don't remember in school being taught the whole political system and how to get things done. And why wouldn't they teach us that? Most politicians have on-the-spot training. They didn't go to school and be like, yo, I want to be a politician. They just learned it right then and there. How come they don't do that? That's strategic. Why would they teach us how to make change?
Well,
because like I said, things that people don't know, it really scares them. So when we start talking a certain talk, just like CEO talk, profit and loss, blah, 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 some people just cut off. They don't even want to hear that shit. That's a soldier. You know, we got to talk to our generals and let those generals talk to their little soldiers and turn them into generals. But we got to get our generals right so they can get their soldiers right. And that's why I tend to keep myself in the circle of generals, because that's what counts, the top of the pyramid. You know, there are people that just listen to other people. They're only going to do what's cool. So you have to get with the people that are going to make lobbying cool, or, you know, people that are going to make understanding this actual process cool. You know, we have to make the escape and the distractions that people think are cool to talk about uncool, and make it only cool to be talking about shit that's going to evolve us as a culture and a community. You know, we have to, like, if you notice, if I get on a radio station and they talking some gossip shit, I'm checking it. We're not talking gossip on this with me. I don't care what this show is. We going to evolve us. If we got a platform with millions listening, then I'm going to say some fly shit, whether you like it or not. And some people are mad, but I don't care. Soldiers and slaves get mad when generals and masters talk. They don't understand it. So I just got sick of talking to soldiers. I'm like talking, they like, huh? I'm talking master talk, and they like, we ain't going against master. I'm talking general talk, and they like, war? I'm not going to war. All right, get out of here. That's it. Some people just ain't ready. But the influencers, the people that do have strength, once you get that rock, once you get that power, You got to do the right thing with your platform. That's all. There should be consciousness and responsibility. You should feel terrible when you'll sell your culture out or make somebody in your culture look stupid just because you feel self-preservation has to kick in. That's terrible. You know, everybody that's just worried about themselves should be ashamed of themselves. Because if you, and really what it shows is, because look, can you name one person you know that likes Trump, that could dress, that got swag, that's happy? If I know like people that don't understand culture, that can't dress, can't dance, they have no empathy for humanity. They're miserable. Can you imagine life without music, life without fashion, life without swag, life without dancing? That's Trump's life. And all his supporters, none of his supporters look cool. You ever look at any one of them rallies? Out of shape, dressed terrible, lives in trailers. And the ones that do support him are doing it sneaky because they're getting money fucking with him. But generally speaking, it's crazy to me how unswaggy people are that don't understand culture and that are miserable. Miserable people hate Trump, love Trump. I don't know nobody happy that love that dude, bro. Everybody that like him is miserable, can't dress, no taste. It's a nasty, tasteless world. You know what I mean? In that world. And it's a world I would never want to be a part of.
Community. I think we get hacked a lot. We get people sell out a lot. They're not putting out any good black code. And then they're saying it's culture, but they're suggesting to our young people that they do things that are definitely destructive. And we've already seen these movies. What's the new narrative for black people that you want to see creatively?
Like I said, you know, being evolved the cool thing. But also you have to remember that what gets the most attention, or with our oppressor who controls a lot of press and a lot of those platforms that the rest of the world sees, they're only going to show the stupid shit. You know? Like it's scary when a guy like Lior is doing anything with YouTube, because all the positive shit, you know, he's going to put that to the side, and all the dumb shit, he's going to give you money to do. You know, there are people that are stimulating stupidity for their own personal gain. And we have to understand, like, yo, you like literally when in my younger days, when people would come to me with certain projects, I'd be like, you really think I'm going to co-sign this stupid shit and make my culture look dumb so you could get a check? You better tread lightly. And I would check those people like a Weinstein and so many others that everyone was so afraid of, that I was checking so many years ago when it wasn't popular. But then when everybody does it now, you know what I mean? When I was doing it, the culture was on my head. Oh, you fucking the plug up. Y'all think this dude is the plug? He's not. I was saying that years ago. Just, you know, Google. You know, check out Wood Harris, who was like, oh, Dame messed it up for all of us. You know, check out Just Blaze. These niggas really said this shit. I'm like, are y'all serious? Y'all on TV dissing me for protecting y'all?
Culture code is for change, Dame. They got to see. You know, when you say swag, you may not have seen it. They keep it away. It's hidden. But we're hiding ourselves. Why are we hiding still?
Programming. It's just programming. We're just programmed. That's what I'm saying. Because when we were born, we were told to pray to white Jesus. So number one, we scared. You know? Not black Yahshua, white Jesus. The European interpretation. It starts right there. You know, I remember going to school and almost being taught that there will never be a black president. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was always on that shit. Why? Because I'm black? That was my main shit. I got kicked out of class every day. Don't yell at me or say none of that shit to me because I'm black. It always is why? Because I'm black? You know, I don't get it. Why when I say it is fucked up? Because I'm black? The thing that's saving us is Instagram, internet, accountability. That's why y'all think I've been taping everything for so long. That's the reason why. Every time I get accused of something, I got to tape, and you can't dispute it. I always got cameras running, because they always try to control the narrative. I always take my own pictures. I'm not waiting for you to put something up. we make our own magazine. I ain't waiting for you to put me on your cover. You gonna make me look the way you want. You gonna put who you want on the cover. I put who I want on the cover. My shit better than yours. I'm just 100% confident. You cannot tell me that there's anybody, white or black, that knows more about certain things than me. You feel me? Fashion, movies, music, rock and roll, rap. Nigga, I put the black keys on. You know what I'm saying? Period.
Art? Why is art important, Jay? Why you got art behind you, bruh?
Because I got good taste. This shit represents something I feel. That's my spirit. And Erykah Badu and myself curated at one of my galleries, and this was her artist, Kyle Goins. You know, she and I copped a lot of shit. Everything in my house came out my gallery. You know?
No, I didn't know that was it. You can just send a piece. I just wanted to share with you.
No, I get it. That's what I'm saying. I was telling you.
Yeah, I wanted to share with you. You should have some black art in your house.
Definitely.
You should support some black artists. They should be able to see your culture on your walls. Your children should grow up seeing culture on your walls. But why? You gotta have a gallery. People don't understand that, dang. Why have black art in your life? Why have black artists in your life?
I have black, all cultures, but it's important to understand that we're just as good at art, and actually a lot of what's been taken from us that we don't know in art, a lot of it was us, you know. But again, we're human beings, but black people in this country have taken a lot of oppression the last 200 years. Now, I know the Great Wall of China, somebody was oppressed. That shit took 2,000 years for 20 generations. We took out 200. And over the bigger picture, we're catching up quicker than they expected. I think the light on every renaissance is starting to reveal itself on history and where it came from and who was the originator of it and why it was white. You know, we know what the Moors did. We know what we did in Egypt. We know what happened when we had it, and we know what the Romans did. They erased all our history, which I'm not mad at them. That's what you do to your enemy. Took all our religion, took all our history, and made us think that we're number two. But we just got to find our history. If we need to find our history to understand who we really are, then do that. You know, because I'm just about the facts. It ain't even an emotional thing. It's just I'm watching how history is being manipulated to oppress. Period.
Cool.
So through art, through music, through fashion, through movies, through television, it's all been manipulated. Through politics to make them look like we need them. And I'm just here to tell you we don't. We need each other. Everybody equal, but we're not going to be letting nobody oppress us. You know? And I'm not mad at white people. I'm just mad at racist white people. And I'm mad at racist black people that are all right with it. That really believe that what a racist white person's beliefs are. And then become subservient to it to survive. That's no bueno.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you showing up, hanging out, and showing CEO to CEO mindset. Damon Dash, we want to thank you for coming back to RideCon 2020.
Absolutely.
Catch up this week. Mad respect, brother. And I appreciate you coming by RideCon. Thank you.
Thank you. We good? We still live? Hey, Rock.
Yeah, we're off. We're off. That was fucking amazing.
Thank you.
That was like, damn, I've seen a lot of your interviews, bro, but you was on 1,000 right now. Like, that was crispy. Like, Munson, that needs to be, like, out. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Let's figure out what John is booked this week, bro.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's get on the Zoom and knock it out.
All right, cool. Thank you, brother. Peace.
My man.
Munson, you're on here next again. No, man. Come on. Come on. change. I just did this, man. I wouldn't change.